Hey guys, this is Harmony, Brock's wife and DM. So I am going to share with you guys what are the dice in D&D. So a lot of people, especially new players, get confused about like what dice is for what. Now, a lot of people know the D20. That's the iconic 20-sided dice. And that is basically the dice that you use to roll for initiative, or if you have to do something called a skills check, you would roll that and you would use that number that you get on your D20 plus the proficiencies that you have, and the DM would have something called the DC. If your number is higher than their number, then you're successful. And I'll go into that in a later video. So that's the iconic, the D20. There's also a D100, also known as like a percentile. So you would have like the D100 and the D10. So the D10 and the D100 look practically the same, except the D100, instead of having like 1, 2, 3, it's like 10, 20, 30 on each side. So a lot of times you'll roll that if you come across like a loot pile and you want to kind of know how well you do. Sometimes if you score better, like if you get like a 90 percentile, the DM's going to give you better loot than if you roll, say, a 33 or something like that. So those are the like D10 and the D100, also known as like the percentile. If they say roll a percentile. Now there's the D12. You typically see this in like certain kinds of weapons. You'll see like D12 damage. So that's when you would like roll a D12. Same thing, now you can see D10 in that, like D10 damage. D8, again, usually D8 damage. D6 is the typical 6-sided dice. That's the one that you see like even in regular board games, that's your normal dice. Those are typically reserved for like, I would say like a lot of times you see them in like D6 damage. It's D6 damage is a really typical damage. A lot of times, you know, if you're going to hit someone with your fists, or if someone's falling, like they take maybe D6 bludgeoning damage, it's a pretty standard damage roll. Also, sometimes the DM will use that, like if they'll be like odds or evens, and they'll roll a D6 to see, kind of like as a bet, to see what's going to happen. Another dice is the D4. That's a weird like triangular dice. And depending on the model you have, the number could be at the top, at the pointy part, or at the bottom. And that dice often is also in damage rolls. So there you guys have it. That's practically all the dice. We have the D20, the D10, the D12, the D100, the D6, the D4, the D8. If there's any other dice that you guys use when you're playing, definitely shoot me a comment and I'll definitely cover it in a later video. Thanks, and stay tuned for more videos.